Okay. Now we are in week 5 already. Okay. And I believe for this week, some of you are going to have your midterm, and also by next week lah, week 5 and week 6 usually midterm will be conducted lah in the class. Now we have 21, but I think I should start the class already. So for today, going to cover on chapter 3 is still on the cost estimation, and it will be covered, I think it's supposed to be by this week, and let me check, I think in the week by this week, okay, by this week, because next week we are having midterm, and it will covers chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Okay, so you have done already on your first assignment. Okay, of course the first assignment will be different from each of the classes. We have 3 groups, and we have flexibility. The lecturers has flexibility in terms of what kind of question, especially to cover for the assignment 1 and assignment 2. Okay, it will be we have some guidelines on that, but it covers the same chapters lah, basically. So your second assignment 1 done already, right? Second assignment will be on chapter 3, okay, on the cost estimation. While waiting for others, I think one of the things I would like to remind you is on the group assignment. Okay, group projects. Sorry, group project. I believe all of you have your own group members already. You have your team already. Okay. I think is clear. You have submitted your names in the WhatsApp group, right? So what you have to do now is that to think of on your group title. Okay, even your group name, yeah. Please give your group name. Okay, what's your team name? Your group name, and I think also you have select your project manager. You have nominate your project manager and the team members, right? I already upload the what we call the explanation on the group project, so you can refer to that, and there are certain deadline that you have to comply. Okay, so basically that will be your I mean in terms of your timeline for your project. Okay, and usually week 14 will be the presentation lah. Okay, possibly I can share, or maybe you can discuss first based on the files that are already uploaded to the Petrobras. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah. Itulah tadi. Right. So this one, group project. Okay. So for the this is Okay, explanation on the project, which is uh, basically what covers in your project, actually what we're going through for the whole semester. Okay, for example, on the project planning, as well that is one of the things you have to put in your report, for example, and costing and others thing lah. Okay, so in terms of that, instead of in terms of topics that you have to think of relate to the chapters and relate to your project, actually based on the chapter relate to your project. Another thing is that we would like you to find related case tool, computer aided software engineering tools relate to that particular topic, and that case tool will be, you are going to use that one to in within your report as well. Okay, so the project for this course involves management of software development. So basically based on topics that we are covering as well. So each of the group, we have divided the project into 4 main activities. Okay, so that we can monitor your progress, especially. So for those activities, 1 up to 4 actually, okay, I mean, in go through, we're going to go through within from early until the end of the semester. Okay, for example, activity 1 on the project background and also project planning, project management plan. So this is the one that you're going to have in terms of your project background that you think of to conduct during the semester. Okay, and this one is mainly in terms of to get some idea or to what actually project that you want to perform. Okay, in terms of management plan, is basically the okay, I'm going to give you some outline later lah. I try to find out some outline. Basically what you can refer is like on the IEEE project planning. Okay, the template on IEEE project management planning. Okay, that is one of the documentation that you can use later. I try to find some. I will try to find one of the document I think I have. Later I will upload to the Tribunals that can be used later for your for you to do the write up. Okay. Activity 2 on the project management, on the project planning and scheduling. This one is mainly on the chapter 2, of course, and this also that the things that you have to schedule your project, you have to um, identify and justify what is your project activities, and from there state also in terms of the duration that we have done before, right, in chapter 2. So that also you have to do some estimation on your own project based on your proposed project. Okay, from there you do some in terms of planning and scheduling, okay, including Gantt chart and network diagram. Activity diagram is a network diagram. So that too is the one that you have to do on written, means that you can use like Word, or you can use other other tools. Okay, so but tools is compulsory so that you can have some experience in terms of the case tool for the project planning. Okay, so any case tool one, please you can start from now, find that particular tool, and you can use that tool and will be include in your report later. Okay, that is on the Gantt chart. Gantt chart possibly you can use like using the table, right? Drawing, using Microsoft Word and using the one that I have shown you before, certain chart. Okay, even Gantt chart also you can use to use it in the case tool as well. That on that one, on the planning. Um, Other than that, is on the cost estimation. Also, the one that you have to make estimation based on the project, your own project, and including find the case tool for the cost estimation. Activity for the last one, other things lah. For all this, actually, it's basically in terms of write up lah. It's more on reporting. Okay. However, okay, for this risk management, um, especially risk management, there are also certain tool can be used. Okay, there are available tool that can be used. Some tools they already have some combination of like have on the cost estimation, risk management. You can use the same tool as long as the items include in that particular tool. Okay, so those four activities, maybe I should go for this one. Okay, on the report submission, okay, it will be throughout the semester. Okay, like activity 1 and 2 will be on the week 9, activity 3 is on the week 12, and others on the activity 4 and presentation will be in week 14. Okay, so this is your timeline for the project. Timeline for, not the project, for the report submission. Okay, and throughout the semester, it's it how would I say, it will be the output of your project. It will be a report. Okay, project management report. That will be a report. However, we don't want you to submit at the end of the semester. That's it. Okay, but we prefer you to submit by activity here so that we can see how's your report. This is a good, it's an advantage for you. It's good, and also advantage for you because like if you submit on week 9, activity 1 and 2, I can check if there is any item missing or anything that can be improved. Then I return to you or I give you a comment. Then you can improve. Okay, and also other activity 3 and 4. Okay, and towards the end, the final report will be the one that we're going to evaluate on your on your for your marks lah, for your assessment. Okay, but the submission is through the deadline is very important so that I can give you some feedback, and from there you can improve your documentation. Okay, that is on the activity and report submission. On the project assessment, we usually we have the rubric. I can share to you later. Okay, once we have
Doktor,
take one. Yeah.
ada orang yang masuk.
Lambat masuk ni. Apa? Perasan? Okay. Satu seorang je kan? Sekejap lagi. So this is on the project assessment. This is important, especially in terms of your write-up. Okay, write-up, well organized and good report format. Report format, maybe I can give you a template. However, in terms of the content, okay, it's important. Okay, for you to prepare, not only prepare but also to do some revision on that and reading on the editing side. Yeah, to produce a good report. So that's it lah. So we have 4 main activities for the project. So for now, okay, you should discuss with your team member, okay, what kind of project you want to project. The idea is the one that, let's say you want to project on development of mobile application for what? Okay, like mobile application for certain system lah. Okay, any system. The idea you can get from other classes before that you have done. Okay, for example, in requirement specification, you have your own project, right? On the design, class design, you have your the project. From all those classes, maybe you can select one for your own group, and the idea, you can have the same idea. It's good because from there you can have some more detail on that particular project. Okay, method of now, okay, for the software project management, you want to focus on the project management side. Okay, previously, for example, SRS, you've done, which is specifically on the SRS, for example, requirement specification. Right? If you have the SRS, possibly you can put in, okay, you can put in that particular activity. Okay, for example, in terms of this one, okay, activity one. Okay, if you have that one, so no issue for that. Is it doesn't means that you cannot, you totally have to find new title. Don't have to. Okay, if you have the idea previously, then just put in that particular document. Okay, method of now, we want to show you in terms of, you don't have to think on the SRS everything in detail. No, that is not in the class. But this class is on the management, project management, right? Um, so for now, you can start on finding the project planning tool, and also cost estimation tool. Okay, and you can explore from there. Okay, Ali baru masuk, okay, baru sampai.
Ya, tadi saya pergi McD.
Aduh, McD pagi ni ya. So breakfast dengan burger ya.
Ya, saya. Dah tu Faiz eh?
Saya dah goreng mihun lah. Anak saya nak makan mihun malam tadi, mihun malam ni, pagi ni mihun. Okay, so hopefully semua pun dah makan ya. At least you have your drinks lah pagi ni kan. Okay, tea ke, kopi ke. Okay, so I already explained on this part now, Alif, so you can ask your team member on how to perform the project, or the detail on the project just now that I mentioned. Right, so that's it. We have 28 now. 3 of you missing. That is on the project. Okay, just remind me later, I will upload the template, yeah. Kadang-kadang lupa ni. Kadang-kadang faktor umur. Okay, faktor umur tu boleh jadi juga. Right, so to continue, I'm going to turn on your group. Okay, on the chapter 3. Okay, this is on chapter 3, yeah. You can see the slide, right? Okay. As mentioned before, cost estimation is very important. Okay, the money, the estimated value for the project, estimated cost, not value. Estimated cost for the project is very important. Okay, as part of the as a part of the developer, okay, this is also considered as important in terms of how much it will give profit to the company. Or even if you are a freelance developer, okay, how much you get them paid for that particular work that you've done. Okay, nowadays actually in the industry on the software development, um, there are freelance developer. Let's say if you graduated later, possibly it's a bit, if you still hunting for the job, possibly you can have like freelance developer as part of your extra income, okay, while waiting for interviews, for example. Okay, so nowadays, like company, they they on the software developer industry are still apa itu kata, it's good lah, it's a good business for the company. Okay, once they have the project, then if it's a million project, then it's good for them lah. Okay, in a certain way, to for their business continuation, especially. Right. So in terms of accurate cost estimation, it's very important. Then from there, you can estimate how much is the project. It costs. You can charge for the customer. Okay. So customer, in a way of course lah, they have certain limitation in terms of how much they're willing to invest. Okay, but in certain way, negotiation is one of the things that maybe can give advantage for both parties lah, win and win, win-win situation, what we call. Okay, I think I've done this one, done already. Okay, so automated tool, later in your project you have to find, okay, available. Especially the free, you can, the free trials also can, or maybe it's open source tools that which is available free. Okay. Then on this one, cost estimation. Okay, maybe this one, predicted on the degree to which the planner has properly estimated the size of product to be built. Okay, so properly estimated to hopefully lah, hopefully it will be accurate as possible. Okay, the ability to translate the size estimate into human effort, calendar time, and dollars. Okay, so estimation, later when you find the algorithmic model, which is we use some formulas for the calculation, can be a very simple one or can have a very specific formulas. Okay, so estimation here, we can, from there we can estimate the human effort, okay, how much effort need to allocate for that particular project, in terms of the timeline or calendar time, how long the project should be performed to complete, and also in terms of monetary, okay, the money, okay, the ringgit or the dollars or any value in terms of currency lah. Okay, so in terms of that, reflect the ability of the soul. Instead of we have those figures in terms of human effort, calendar time, and also the value in terms of monetary value, one of the things is, not one of the things, but all those actually influenced by many factors. Okay, influenced by many factors, as it will also effect in terms of project performance, project efficiency as well, and one of the factors that in terms of ability of the software team. Okay, throughout later from the algorithmic modeling models later, you will find that the human factor, which is the team ability, for example, in terms of the their skill, okay, their skill or capabilities, one of the things, okay, for example, capability on doing like programming, okay, in terms of skill, in terms of the development part lah. Okay, the other things that can be influenced as well in terms of the requirement, okay, stability of the product requirement. The stability here can influence by the customer or the user. Okay, what developers are afraid of nowadays is that the high changing in terms of the requirements from the user side. Okay, for example, on the early of the project, this is the requirement. Okay, they agree, but throughout the project, suddenly sometime user relies on that during this project. Okay, at early stage, possibly the user cannot see in clearly, or they possibly not not thinking of that before, but during the project they will have clear about the system, and from there they possibly giving or adding new requirements. Okay, that is what we call stability requirements. Okay, and from there it will give impact to the developer team as well. Okay, an environment that support the software engineering effort here possibly can be in terms of the technology. Okay, so what I'm saying now is that there are certain things that can influence in terms of the estimation accuracy, and those factors are possibly uncontrolled by the developer. Okay, possibly uncontrolled by the developer. So that is one of the difficulty that faced by the developer side lah. Okay, however, they have to proceed the project, right? So in terms of that, in certain condition, developer have to decide. They have to make decisions on that, so that from there they can as well control on the costing side. That's the thing. Right. So starting from this slide and then the following slide actually is about algorithmic cost modeling, okay, which is on the conventional object oriented. So sometimes the methods on the modeling too, the modeling itself are different, I would say. It's different. Okay, so which approach or method we are using, it depends on your estimation lah. It depends on which one you want to follow actually. Okay, so later on when you use, I don't know what's over, when you use the when you use any of the tools, you will see in terms of what you know, or maybe you can select later which modeling you want to use for the calculation, and from there you can report in your you can put in your report lah to justify which model you are using. Okay, Nurul Fatihah. Okay. That is in terms of on the approach available for the method available. Okay. Okay. So previously, what we have is that line of code or function point approach for the estimation. Okay. So number of line of code or function point. Okay, so this one is the usually line of code or function point, more or less estimation are based on the previous project or previous data of the project. Okay, so and then from there we can, as a developer, we can make the estimation. Okay, and estimation is based on the information, the domain values. Domains means that which application types are application domain types you are in. Okay, so this one basically based on experience, the developer can estimate based on their own experience before. Okay, like how many line of codes that estimated for that particular application in the same domain. Okay, for example, for university, like SMP. Okay, so from there they can throughout their point. Okay, so based on that, okay, the estimation can be, for example here, okay, function for listed there, okay, in the table here, user interface and control facility, how many line of code estimated. Okay, so all those function, okay, listed, and also line of code, and then we have estimated numbers or estimated number line of codes. Okay, so this is the estimation which is based on historical data. Okay, however, it can be more or less. Okay, So what we hope that this estimation is can give some indication for the developer to do some estimation. Okay, and all these figures like average productivity for the system of this type. Okay, like of course per PM is person month. Okay, person month is the effort. Okay, 620. Burden labor rate means that how the average of the what we call the salary. Okay, usually how much you have to pay each of the developer. Okay, that is burden labor rate. Okay, so usually this one also estimated. Okay, per month. Okay, cost per line of code is approximately $13. Sign is dollar here, so I dollar. Yeah. So those are the estimated value for the calculation. Okay, meaning that you already have experience, you put in the estimated line of code there, how many, and then you get the figure, the total there, right? 33,200 line of code. Okay, so with the burden labor rate, usually burden labor rate, it will be the current estimated value. For example, nowadays, like in Malaysia, possibly in 3,000, 3,000 usually nowadays. Okay, the salary for the developer, for example, can be more, it depends, right? But here is the one that is average. Okay, because nowadays I think senior programmer also, programmer or developer, possibly they will have like 5,000, 7,000. It depends lah, depends to their experience, number of experience. Okay, and also in terms of many factors lah, maybe the company itself, right? The company giving apa tu paid higher than other company, right? Even if you're working for the foreign company, they paid you using currency dollar or even pound. Okay, for UK depends. Usually dollars. Okay, so cost per line of code is approximately $13. Okay, so based on the line of code estimated and the historical productivity data, the total estimated project cost is 431,000. Okay, and the estimated effort is 54% month. You know how we get 431,000 here? Class, you have any idea from this? Okay. Can you get a figure? How we can get 431,000, sorry. Aina? Aina, ingat. Aina, are you there?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Can you guess how you can get 431,000?
Give me some time.
Dah makan belum? Eat your breakfast?
Yes, doctor. Roti.
Roti, alhamdulillah. Maharas? Pergi kat Maharas pula. Maharas, are you there? The same lecture notes ni we used previously. Maharas?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah. You have an idea how we get estimated project cost here 431,000. 431K. Okay, you have your phone now. You can do calculation a bit on that calculator. You can open your calculator. First, can we do it together?
Okay.
Dah, you have your calculator now? Calculator, no accept. Calculator. Right. Okay. So for line of code approach here, okay, and the estimated line of code is 33,200. Then we need to multiply with the cost per line of code, which is times 13. Okay, then you get the cost. Right? How much you get? Haras? 33,200 multiply by 13 times 13. You get the figure, the answer? Alif, where are you, Alif?
Saya kat sini tu.
Berapa? How much you get?
Yang mana?
Huh?
Yang mana?
Yang mana? I told you, I just mentioned just now. How to get 431,000?
431,000.
Tanya seorang-seorang tak tahu ni, ha?
Dia dapat, sekejap nak kira.
Saya dah letak background saya belakang tu pantai-pantai, tenang-tenang. You all dah tenang sangat ke?
Dapat 400,000.
What? Berapa? Alif?
431,600.
431,600. Okay, 431,600.
Yes.
431,600, right? Okay, so that is the estimated project cost. Okay, sini supposed to be 431,600. Okay, which is this one, line of code 33,200 multiply by 13. Okay, so that is simple calculation on the estimation. Okay, 431,000. If you or be specific, $431,600. Okay, that is on the project cost. Okay, ini baru simple calculation. Okay, jangan terlalu asyik because later we have formulas. Okay, this is also one of the famous question. Not one, chapter 3 is the famous question in your midterm as well, and also your assignment. Okay, next, the estimated effort is 54 per month. So in costing, person month is the one that will represent the effort of the developer. Okay, so estimated effort here, which is 431,600 just now, you divide it by the burden labor rate per month. Then you get the person month. Means that you divide it by 8,000. So how much you get? The estimated effort? Alif lagi. Alif. How much you get?
Saya lagi.
You.
Jangan nak keluarkan calculator.
Allah Akbar.
Calculator dah simpan.
Just now, so you have your smartphone, open the calculator. Ini
Dapat 54
lah. Nak kata awal pagi dah pukul 10 lebih.
54 per month.
How you calculate that?
Sekejap lah.
Khairi, Muhammad Khairi. Kejap tu lambat. Sekejap, saya tak nak tunggu. Muhammad Khairi.
Yeah.
Berapa? How much you get?
53.85.
Okay, good.
No,
Okay, thank you. Muhammad Taufik. Are you there, Muhammad Taufik?
Ya, doktor.
Ya, berapa you dapat? Effort, estimated effort.
Estimated effort.
Kalau saya masuk exact amount sini memang you orang ambil je kan, tak tahu nak kira. So I'm asking you now. Okay, estimated effort, how much you get?
Macam mana nak kira tu? Estimated effort.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Rekod kan?
Tanya Nazrin.
Apa, siapa tu? Who's that? Nazrin. Berapa? Dia. Macam mana dia dapat Nazrin? Berapa bagi berapa? No. It's not. 33,200 multiplied by 13. Yeah. 33,200 multiplied by 13, then you get the total estimated project cost, which is berapa? Alright. 431,600. If you want to get the estimated effort, you divided by labor rate per month. So you divide it by 8,000. Then you can get the estimated effort. Yes, 53.95. Okay, so for this example, we put in, apa kita panggil? Bulat-bulatkan, bundakan. Kita genapkan. We put in round up. We round into, the exact answer is 53.95. And we round up, you can make it as 54. Okay, so in your answer later, either you put in 53.95 or you put in 54 is okay. Okay, it's correct. Okay, that is line of code approach. Any question before I proceed to the next one? Yes.
Why cannot we do like Nazrin said just now to get the person?
No, that is the thing. Line of code per person month is the allocation, which is meaning that the effort for each person in terms of number of code is 620. That is the estimated. Okay. However, for the calculation in terms of estimated project, you just use the cost for line of code and also person labor rate, cost for labor rate. That's it. Okay. Average productivity. If you read the statement there, average productivity for system for this type, meaning that productivity for each person who involved in the project. Okay. This is very rough estimation. Rough estimation means that simple estimation in terms of, okay, although you early of the project you have to make the estimation, okay, but when the project started in progress, then those estimation possibly different in a way of like project cost lah, especially, right? But hopefully this estimation will be very close to the exact amount of the project cost, the real amount of project cost. Okay, can I move now to the next slide?
Doktor,
Yeah.
yang estimated effort tu nak kena round off ke dia akan puluhan?
Either one. Either you put in 53.95 also correct. If you round up into 54 also correct. Okay? Boleh je. Salah satu. Okay, because 0.95 if we round out will be round up, betul round up. We put in apa tu? Ni in terms of 54. Okay. Now, right. Another one, function point approach. Just now, line of code approach, which is also you have to identify or you have to estimate in terms of number line of code for each domain. Now it's on the function point approach. Okay, so the function point approach, there are a formula there. Okay, function approach, estimated function approach equal to count total, okay, times 0.65 plus 0.1, okay, times FI, total FI. Okay, so this is the function point formula for the function point approach. Okay, and function point approach here, okay, in the table here, all these are estimated value for the function point count here. Okay, when you total up everything here, all this figure, it represent the estimated. Okay, estimated how many function point based on the information domain value. Okay, listed on the left side here, listed here. Okay, and the count total here is the one that we are going to estimate lah for the function point approach. Okay, given already here, okay, function point calculated, okay, count total will be 321. Okay, total FI, okay, this one, total FI usually are given, estimated. Okay, if the question given to you already, you just put in and then do the calculation. Okay, 0.65 and 0.01 given to you. Meaning is part of the formula, not given. I mean, it's part of the formula. Okay, so meaning that from this function approach, count total, this one, okay, estimated, and total F. It depends on the count total and also total FI. Okay. And for this example, function point estimated, calculated from here, it will be 375. Okay. What I want to remind you here for the formula, okay, in this bracket, how we are going to calculate.
Do multiplication first.
Okay, 0.01 multiply by total FI first, and then you plus 0.65, right? Am I correct? Tak plus.
Yes.
Betul.
Okay, that is in terms of mathematical, yeah. Ni lah, okay, rules, Okay, so be careful on that. Okay, so it should be okay, this one multiplied by total FI, and then you get plus 0.65. And then lastly, you count total, for example, 321 times the value here. Okay, so be careful on that. Okay, so for now, for the function point, for this example, yeah, organizational average productivity 6.5 function point per person month. Okay, same with the labor burden rate, burden labor rate, sorry, 8,000 per month, and cost, okay, the cost for one function point, okay, per function point is 1,230. Okay, so based on that, okay, this is the estimated project cost. But I think the value here is not the exact value. You have to calculate. Can you do another calculation just now? That's what we did just now. Again, calculator in your phone also can. Okay, we do it together. Right? Apa nak panggil? Abinesh, are you there? Abinesh? Abinesh?
Yes, yes, Doctor. I'm here.
Are you celebrating Deepavali?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, happy Deepavali.
Thank you, Doctor.
How long usually you celebrate for the Deepavali?
It depends.
Yeah. Still on apa tu celebrating with your families, all that, meaning that
Yeah, we are
yeah.
still like together. Yeah.
What about at the Batu Cave? You went there?
Not really. I mean,
Huh?
this year, no.
Yeah. Previous years you've been there. I mean,
No,
it's
we
part
don't
of the
really go.
event, right?
And not really, we don't really go to Batu on Deepavali. We go
Oh,
for like Taipusam like that.
oh, I see. Right. So what's your figure? Total estimated project cost for this example, function point approach. Ini banyak makan marupu ni. Vinesh, are you following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the previous one, do you understand? For this one, it's the same. Calculation is follow the same. For the line of code approach, are you following this one? Is it okay?
Yes, but
Yes. Why but? Why? Apa tu? Okay. It's the same with this one. It's very straightforward, but if you don't follow this one, this now, and then maybe for this one also. Because later we have more than this actually. We have more than this. For example, I just want to show you first. Like this one. This one is more complex in terms of calculation. This just now is very simple. Okay. This one very simple. Okay. So total estimated project cost. Okay. Ini lagi. Syahrul. Mana Syahrul? Syazwan. Ini semua muka tak nampak kan? So I have to call your name. Syahrul Syazwan. Dah habis ni. What's your answer? Total estimated cost, project cost for this one? Function point approach. For this one, function point approach, you have to get the count total first, but it's still not the exact one because there is a formula for the calculation for function point estimation. Okay, which is 375. Okay, with the 375 function point estimated, you have to get the project cost by multiply with the cost for per function point. So meaning that 375 multiplied by 1230. Okay, can you follow me? Okay, if you have your calculator, 375 multiply by 1230. That is the project cost. Boleh Syarul?
Boleh.
So how much you get?
461250.
Okay, 461,250. Okay. Okay, that answer in the slide 461,000 is not the exact value. If we make the calculation exactly, there is an extra 250 here. Okay, so it should be 461,250. Okay, so with that number, okay, you can estimate the effort by Cheryl. How you get the estimated effort?
576.56.
You divide it by
8,000.
8,000. Then you get the figure 57.65.
Yeah.
625, right? So you either can put in 57.6, but in percent month, usually the effort we put in round number. Okay, meaning that 57.6, you can round out for 58. Okay, if you put in 57.6, also can. Also can lah, it's possible, or it's correct, still correct. Okay, dua slide ni lamanya. Siti Aisyah Akila, okay tak? Any question?
No, Doctor.
Yeah. Obichi, are you there, Obichi? Obichi? Nak gelak ni. Panggil-panggil senyap. Are you there? Tak ada. Syatman? 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 Zang? Zirui? Zang? Who's there? Syatman ke Zang?
Yes, better.
Syatman?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Any question for these two slides, function point and line of code? Before I proceed to the next slide. For the calculation?
Doctor,
Yeah.
the FI will be given or
Yes, usually are given. I have extra slide. I can't remember. I need to find that one.
and then the blue table, the FP count,
Okay.
dia bagilah semua tu.
Usually we give the figure, count total. How many? Yeah, for easier things lah. Usually we provide to you. Okay. And number of input, number of output, usually we state, and they can get the count total. Okay. So the method of now, you know that how to get the function point count. Okay. Let's say total number of input 97, number of output 78. You know that you're supposed to add on that, add all those figure on all those number, and then you get the count total. Okay. Total FI, usually there are certain way to do some estimation, but I think I'm not covered for this class lah. It will be even much easier for you. What we want you to understand is that how the calculation be made lah for this one. I need to pick up the call. Mana? Hello. Salam. Yeah. Okay. Boleh. Saya ada kelas tapi boleh sekejap. Belum dapat payment lagi ya? Belum dapat? Okay. Saya cuba call hari ni staff di fakulti yang uruskan pembayaran. Nanti saya pulang. Alright. Minta maaf ya. Okay. Saya pulang. Alright. So that is on the function point and line of code approach. Process-based estimation. Okay. Another method in terms of estimating the cost, which is based on the process framework. Okay, based on the application function estimated, and from there you can know how many line of code. Okay, and not line of code, it's basically it's based on the effort. Okay, based on the effort. Okay, for this table, for example, activity on this particular row. Okay, CC planning risk, this is activities. Okay, okay. I'm not sure what is customer communication, customer evaluation. Okay, and then total on the right hand column here. Okay, function task analysis design all this elaboration for each of the activity, if any. For this example, okay, function point, all this listed. You get the figure there, the total here will be the total for that particular estimation. And from there, distributed here as well in terms of the percent of effort estimation. So this is example on the process-based estimation. Okay, so now to look in bigger picture in terms of the way on the estimation can be on variety of way, function point, line of code, process base. Okay, so this is on the process base. However, for any way of making the estimation, okay, the figure that we get is the one that we're going to have in terms of project costing. Okay, in terms of calculation, it will be the same as another two just now. Okay, which is the total of the process base or line of code or function point estimated just now multiplied by burden labor rate. Okay, so for these three examples, we are using the same burden labor rate. Why? We want to give you some to give you to show you some to give you comparison in terms of the figure we get based on three different way of doing estimation. Okay, with these three different slides, different example using different models or approach. Okay, so total estimated project cost. Okay, okay, for this one. Okay, person,
Yes, doctor.
boleh?
Doctor. Wait, doctor. I'm still calculating.
Aku nak cari calculator.
Tak,
Can
tak,
you
tak, tak.
search?
Tengah
Dah ada?
calculate. Tengah calculate.
Okay, right. How much you get?
Wait, doctor. Times with
Rani? Ini Deepavali dia orang raya saya panggil
Doctor.
nama. Ha? Yes.
I'm still getting the same 368000.
Again?
368000. I'm getting back that same answer in the slide. Is there anything I wrong?
Okay, 46.
46 times 8000.
It's not 8,000.
8,000.
8,000 is to get the effort, estimated effort.
Okay, so
Any missing information? Check.
wait, doctor. Okay. Wait.
You get the figure?
Doctor, can you go back to the slide again?
Which one?
The previous one, because
This
I don't
one?
understand. Because this one is actually the FP times with the
Yeah.
1230. But okay. Doctor, actually, how to get the FP, doctor?
Which
Because
one? This is different approach. This is FP, estimated on the function point. Different approach. Three
okay.
slide different approach actually. Three different approach.
Okay, doctor.
So this one, if we times by 368, okay, so estimated will be 46 as well. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so for this one, okay, so you get the project cost by multiply the effort because it's already in the process base here. 46 times 8,000, you get 368, and also the percent one is the same, right? Okay.
Okay.
46 here. Okay. Because for this example, it doesn't give you any
extra
value on the how much. Okay, how much for, because it's not line of code, right? It's not based on line of code. It's not based on how much. It doesn't have to estimate on the how much per line of code. Okay, so process based, this is the estimation. Okay, so comparing these three approach, process based, then function point, and line of code, okay, you get different figure, right? Okay, with the same burden labor of rate of 8,000. Okay, this one of course you have line per line of code, and this one function point, in function point you have number of code, right? But different way in terms of doing the calculation, right? But just to mention that possibly if you have different approach, you may have different figure. Okay, because approach itself is it looking in different way. Okay, different way. Right. Any question before I proceed?
No, doctor.
Okay, boleh ya? Okay.
Boleh,
So
doctor.
that is usually what we call a traditional approach. Okay, traditional approach considering previously we are using different development methodology. Lately, currently, we more use on the object-oriented approach. Okay, previously, possibly you use like traditional approach, waterfall, okay, very sequential from one activity to another. Okay, in certain tool, they may indicate what approach they are using, or even you can select in terms of your setting, okay, based on the estimation, which model you want to have in your calculation for the estimation. Okay, it's possible. Okay, and usually on the tool-based estimation, you have to specify a project characteristic, like a small project, medium project, or big, large scale of project. Okay, so you just put in your item or your project characteristic based on the selection in that particular tool. Okay, you have your calibration factor. What are the calibration factor? Kita tengok nanti. We look on that. What is or what are the calibration factors? Or you put in your line of code or function point data. Okay, so usually when you use tool-based estimation, of course you put in your selection, your setting, okay, your factors or anything, and the tool will help you to do the calculation. So meaning that you don't have to use the form, you don't have to use your calculator or anything for the calculation. They will compute the cost estimated for you. Okay, they will calculate for you. Okay, that is the advantage of tool-based estimation. But why for this class we want you to have the calculation to see or to clearly understand in terms of what are the elements, what are the factors included, and why. Okay, that is very important. Okay, to see behind that, beyond that. Okay. So usually what we have is that use cases. Okay, and from there, okay, this is on the object-oriented approach based on use case. Okay, use cases usually we when did you create the use case in the when is the activity that which activity actually you create the use cases here, class? When in the project?
During
In the project?
requirement, gathering requirement.
Yes, usually requirement at the end of the requirement usually you possibly you have a one apa tu a simple use case, okay, but move on to the design, more specific, more detailed, right? Like scenario, or you use or you create a sequence diagram, all that. Okay, so either it will be a part on the requirement or more detail in the design, right? So for estimation with use cases here, although it's still early in the early of the project for the cost estimation, but possibly you have a general picture. What are the subsystem or what are the functionality, right? From the functionality, then you create the use case, kan? Okay. So what are the use cases? So this is one of the example. Okay, total line of code estimated based on the dedicated subsystem lah. Di sini dia put in subsystem, use cases, scenario, pages, and then come up with the line of code estimation. Okay, so with that, okay, we have the total line of code estimated 42,568. Okay, with the same figure, okay, given this is actually on the line of code, right? The first approach given the example previously. Okay, productivity 620, still 620, labor rate per month 8,000, line of code $13. Okay, so what's the difference now is that the line of code estimated based on the use case estimation. That's the difference. Okay, if you go for the line of code calculation just now, get different figure, right? Okay, so when put in this way of calculation, okay, using use case, then you get different figure. Okay, so 552,068 effort, person month effort. Okay, so you know how to get this figure 552 project cost?
Yes.
Cuba 42 568 times
13.
13, right? So you get actually 553,384. Okay, that's the real figure. Okay, then to get the person month, the effort divided by 8,000. So you get 69. Okay, so I think because if they use 552, then it will be exact 68. 552,000. Okay, divided by 8,000. Okay, you get 69. 69, right? No, 68. Okay, so that is the estimated value. Okay, using use cases. So that is what we consider rough estimation. Rough estimation, which is using certain estimation of labor rate, using cost per line of code, and other things, right? Productivity as well. So with that, this actually what we call empirical model. Okay, empirical model, which is empirical model, they are more detailed, more specific with a certain formula. Okay, represented by certain formula. Okay, these models, they have a certain values. Okay, values estimated. And empirical model is represented by the mathematical function lah, which is using formulas, detailed formulas. And in this particular model, they use certain values to represent the formulas. Okay, and for example here, effort equal to A times size power of B multiplied by M. Okay, M is the multiplier. Okay, in previous slide, I did mention there possibly certain factors that influence the project cost. Okay, just now I mentioned that possibly can because of the people or the developer team, can be also because of the technology, okay? Because of the technology and other things. So that is what being included in this empirical model. Okay, so all this multiplier M, Okay, effort equal to A times size power of B time N. Here is the multiplier. Okay, it reflecting on the product, process, and people attributes. Okay, so product, for example, like just now, the change of requirements is part of it. Is part of it. So considering now that this particular empirical model is using certain mathematical function for the estimation, okay, with the values of A, B, and M. Okay, what is A, B, and M will be indicated later lah. Okay. What I want to highlight here that this empirical model is more detailed in terms of to consider the cost factors, other factors for influencing the cost. So in terms of that, this empirical model usually used in many tools in the market actually, because it more precisely lah, in more detail in terms of the cost factors that influence the project. So meaning that when you use this, you use the tool, empirical model is mostly have in many tools available in the market. Okay. So fully with this empirical model, it will be more accurate. Okay, why? As I mentioned, the cost factors that we highlight or included in the calculation, cost calculation. Okay. So estimation accuracy, hopefully using this empirical model, it will be more accurate. Okay, why? Because of course we want to do the estimation, but as accurate as possible, and as accurate as possible. Okay, so it's very important. So what we have here, sekejap ya, minum kejap. Right. Just want to tell you a bit on the empirical model. Actually, empirical model is the one that comes from the come up with a formula. Actually, those formula was being analyzed by the data, based on the data, and those data when they make in terms of the data about the project, and from there they come up with the formulas. So it based on the empirical data, data from the previous project, which is those project from the best practice. Usually best practice means that being performed by they conduct a project and then it comes a good success project, and from there they come up with the model which is to represent the by the formulas. Okay, and this empirical model actually hopefully it can give the result of the calculation as accurate as possible, or the estimation are as accurate as possible. Okay, of course in reality, okay, let's say what I want to explain from this figure is actually this diagram, this graph, this graph represent in terms of estimation uncertainty. Okay, what we want to have is the exact, okay, close to the exact, the real figure. Okay, let's say you estimate early of the project 100,000. Okay, hopefully at the end of the project, the value of the project cost is not much difference from the exact value. Let's say you get like the early of the estimation 100,000. At the end of the project, let's say your project cost is 95,000. So it means it's very close to your estimation. Okay, we don't want the figure, the exact figure at the end of the project is very much higher too much. We don't want that kind of things. Okay, so what we represent here is that, let's say this is the horizontal line which is represent the feasibility. This is activities, right? And the estimated value is hopefully in the range of between here 4 times higher or 0.25 times lower. Okay, so in between this range, that the value that we hope we can get, okay, or estimated during the delivery at the end of the project is on delivery here. Okay, so this horizontal represent the phase of the development, and the amount, the value of the cost can be any point of this in between of these two blue line. Okay, right, and so that is what we are, hopefully we can have lah. Okay, let's see, here we have this one. Estimation accuracy, the size of software system can only be known accurate when it is finished. Of course, when it finished, that is the real cost, right? But now we are talking about estimation. Okay, several factors influence the final size. Can be COTS is commercial off the shelf. Okay, is the available in the market. Okay, use of commercial off the shelf and components, which is clear. Okay, for example, for this project, you want to use certain application, certain tools, meaning that tools you have to pay. Okay, you have to pay. For example, for the license, okay, it costs you like 10,000. So meaning that that is the cost for that particular tool. Okay, so it's clear. Okay, programming language possible as well, and also distribution of the system, which is may involve like technology. Okay, programming language possible also when it relates with a certain system. You want to get the programmer skill for that particular language is difficult, for example, then you have to pay more. Possible, right? This programmer, they charge you for that particular project. Let's say you invite outside programmer, okay, because it's a very limited skill available in the market or available, right, skill. So meaning that from there you have to put in certain costs. Okay, in certain company, they usually hire programmer, which is language that they usually apply for certain project. Okay, they use for certain project. So meaning that maybe if that particular project is the skill is not within inside the company, then possibly they have to hire external programmer. In certain way, in certain situation, there is like sort of like that. Okay, so as the development process progress, then the size estimate becomes more accurate. Of course, the estimates of the factors contributing to B and M are subjective and vary according to the judgment of the estimator. Okay, although you have this formula, but estimation are still, okay, made by the developer or the estimator. Okay, meaning that if you have tools as well, but still you have to provide the value, right? For example, for this one, okay, project characteristic, you have to justify which characteristic. So meaning that user who are using the tool, they have to put in the value, the input, right? Calibrator factors also you have to decide, okay, and other factors to involve. So that's what it means here. Okay, estimation are subjective. Okay, and vary according to the judgment of the estimator. Let's say you have just very simple example. Okay, let's say you have two estimator in one project. Okay, estimator 1, estimator 2. Okay, so in the case of these two estimator, if they make the estimation, possibly is the final value on the estimation will be different. Okay, so possible like that because it's subjective. They have their own value for the estimation. okay, for that particular input for that estimation, right? Hai, penat lagi ni cakap ni. Okay, ada soalan? Guys, ada soalan? Any question? Did you notice that my background is different today?
Ya, doktor kat pantai.
Yes, doktor. Cantik.
Apa tu? What
Doktor
background
mandi
is
ke,
that?
doktor?
Kat pantai.
Apa pula? Sabun. I'm talking about the background. Kan? Kita santai. Tapi jangan pula terlalu santai. Okay, we are talking about costing now. It's very important. Alright, class. We gone through halfway, I would say, on chapter 3. So far, how do you find about cost estimation? Easy, kan? So far, so good. Okay.
Ya, doktor.
Right. Alhamdulillah. Now, okay, what I showed just now on the model, okay, is something which is very general in a way of based on the estimator value. And you provide the you as estimator, you make the estimation. Okay, so in a way of the previous model presented just now, actually it's estimating based on the whole project. Let's say you one project, that project estimated for one particular project, okay, throughout the project duration. Okay, let's say 1 year. So my estimation is that this project total cost is just now, right, 400,000 something. Okay, so that is the total cost, considering estimated based on the function point, line of code, and also process based. Okay, so there are also another algorithmic cost modeling, quite famous, what we call COCOMO. Okay, COCOMO. And COCOMO, if you go searching, very simple searching on the internet, okay, we do it together. Right, you can see my slide. Okay, COCOMO. Dah 11:30. Alright. Okay, COCOMO. Right, you should see here. Yeah, I just select one COCOMO, not song, yeah, COCOMO model. COCOMO model. Right. Okay, COCOMO model. Okay, COCOMO is constructive cost model. Okay, model based on line of code. Okay, still based on line of code. Okay, but however you will find later, COCOMO will be very detailed up to have the mathematical formula actually. Okay, and this COCOMO is quite some time, but COCOMO itself, they have what we say a certain version of model. Okay, from the original model up to the latest one, I think is COCOMO 2. Okay, now I'm going for the image. Okay, so in COCOMO, you will find that what I want to show you. Okay, in COCOMO, usually we have 3 different models. Okay, which is these different models represent the stage of the project. Okay, just now what I present to you, the whole project, right? Looking in the whole project, one project, that's it, right? But for COCOMO, because when we consider, just thinking of how to explain. Okay, now, okay, by considering this particular slide, it means that from early up to the end of the project, the cost will be more clear, right? Okay, early maybe you predict, okay, this is particular cost. But when you go for feasibility, requirement, design and coding, possibly the cost will be clear for the developer. Okay, it will be more accurate. Okay, so considering that situation, that's why Kokomo are given a more detailed estimation model, okay, which is divided into three. Okay, which is application composition model, which is during early stage of the software development, and then the next one, early design stage model, which is in the middle usually, which is on the design stage, and third one, post architectural stage model, which is during the construction of the software. Construction here, class, meaning that in terms of the activity on more on the programming, on the development, coding development. Okay. Siapa tu? Ada orang nak bawa masuk ke? Ouch. Francisco? Okay, that is on the Kokomo. Right? So, that is what I want to highlight on the Kokomo for now. And this Kokomo 2 model, it is also based on the project experience. From there, they realize that they notice that actually on the cost estimation, it should be okay based on the project activities or project ongoing project. Okay, so it will be should be different. Okay, so that is what covered from this one. Kokomo, as I mentioned, it quite some time. It's since 1981. It's Kokomo, the first version in 1981, and then now we have, I think, Kokomo 2 for the current one. Okay, so that is what under Kokomo and also Kokomo 2. So this is on the Kokomo 2. Okay, another one that we have is that reuse model. This is what we consider in terms of reusable components, right? Because nowadays, okay, if you have other components which is available, then you attach, okay, and do some integration, and then from there you get one at the end, a combination of a few components for the development, okay, which is again available in from other system for the component base, right? You heard component based development, right? So that is one of the approach that in terms of the development for the project development. Okay, so it will be Kokomo 2, the submodel will be 4, including the reuse model. I think I should stop here lah for this one. Okay, you can do the revision of the days for the Kokomo 2. Okay, next what we have is that in terms of each of the submodel, which is 4 submodel for the calculation. Okay, we'll go through all this later. Okay. Right. Okay, so I will continue this on Wednesday class. Any question? Is there any question? Okay, semua okay. Oh, bagus.
Okey, doktor.
Wow, tanya tak boleh jawab. Macam mana tu? Okay, so try your best to do the revision on the chapter 2. Also, you need to do some revision on chapter 2 and also 3 for the midterm. So our midterm will be next week, right? Another thing is on the project as well. You have to do concurrently, means that parallel with the chapters and also your project report. Okay. And another one is that you can have the available template. I'm not sharing that. I want to show you I want to present this now. I want to show you this one. To get the template. You still have time, huh? Okay. You can get IEEE template. This is on the IEEE for your report. Okay. Maybe you can search for project management. Project management plan template. This one. Okay. You can get any as long as IEEE template. And I think also available in document file, which is you can just download and to add on based on your own project report for your own project. Okay, so it's available. You can do the searching and get the document file is much easier for you. Okay, so that is okay. I think that's all for now. Any question? Semua okay? Everything okay?
Okay,
All okay, Doctor.
Okay, Maras.
Yes,
Wasik?
Prof.
Yeah, Wasik,
Present.
where are you, Wasik?
Yes, doctor.
Alright. Maliha?
Yes, doctor.
Rani?
Yes, doctor.
Liu Wei? Liu Wei, are you there? Liu? Liu? Ada kot. Since our class, the first class tak ada ni. Obiche? 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 Sohiduzaman? Muaj?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Muaj?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Aina?
Ada.
Faris? Ya, Taufik, Muhammad Taufik.
Ada.
Adinesh, okay.
Yeah, doctor.
Syazwani? Syazwani?
Ada.
Okay. Fahim, Adlin?
Ada.
Abu. Okay, Syahrul, Syazwan? Siti Aisyah Akila?
Ada, doctor.
Nurul Syafika? Syafika? Nurul Syafika? Tuan Sharifah?
Ada.
Nurul Syafika tak ada? Hanif, Muhammad Hanif?
Ada, doktor.
Khairi? Okay. Nurul Fatihah?
Ada.
Khairi ada Khairi?
Ada.
Hassan? Anis?
Yes, doctor, ada.
Anis? Nur Anis?
Yes, doctor.
Alif Zuhairi, okay. Alif?
Ada.
Ya. Ada, tak pergi pantai ya? Right. Nur Hazimah? Nur Hazimah?
Ada.
Okay. Muhammad Faiz?
Ada, doctor.
Francisco?
Present, doctor.
Yeah. You forgot the class or what? You joined late.
No. I've been joined. I joined from the beginning, but my network got problem, so I connected with my phone.
Oh, okay then. So if you have anything, you can ask me about the costing. It's very important. Chapter 3
Alright.
also important. Okay?
Alright.
It's about
Alright.
more on the calculation. Yeah, Lin Jain. Lin.
Yes, doctor.
Right. Abdul Wahab.
Yeah, doctor.
Shatman.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Zazirwi. Zan.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Alright. Okay, good. Well, again, Obichi, are you there, Obichi? Nurul Shafika. We have 20. Okay, I think they are not wrong. Okay, with that. So, last one. What about your assignment one? It's okay?
Okay,
No?
doctor.
Okay. Okay, you are concerned about set A, set B. Actually, I did change something in the table and also the question, but I forgot to change the title yang set A. That's why you are confused, right? But I already mentioned, just focus on your own set. That's it. Just follow your own set from the link, right? So I'm not possibly not by this week. I'm not going to discuss on that. Give me some time because now I need to complete on the chapter 3 for the class. Most probably by next week. Yeah, can discuss on that. Okay, even we already done all the exercise. Kan? I already mentioned to you to do the exercise so that you can understand better. Right. So with that, thank you so much for today. Okay. Although we are not going to the beach, but at least I bring the beach to you. Okay. So stay at home. Okay. Okay. So take care. Right. Hopefully, just doa. Hopefully later the COVID-19 will be out from our community. Okay. Hopefully, and Allah God save us all, okay, from the COVID, from the virus, inshallah. Okay. So with that, thank you so much, okay, for joining the class. See you on Wednesday, okay, for still on the cost estimation. Right.
Thank you,
So hari
doctor.
ni pergi pantai sekejap. So with that, bye-bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Bye. Welcome.
Doctor.
Bye-bye.